Deep in the sun-scorched Nazca Desert of southern Peru, the Nazca Lines weave a cryptic tale across the earth. Among these ancient geoglyphs, giant hummingbirds, spiders, and straight lines, lie the mesmerizing Nazca Spirals, swirling designs that seem to pulse with mystery. Crafted by the Nazca people between 500 BCE and 500 CE, these patterns have endured the test of time, preserved by the desert's relentless dryness. Scholars and dreamers alike have long debated their purpose. Were they a brilliant solution to harness water in an unforgiving land, or do they conceal an astronomical code, tying humanity to the cosmos? Let's dig deeper into fresh evidence, untapped perspectives, and the enigma that continues to swirl around these desert wonders. Spanning nearly 500 square kilometers, the Nazca Lines are a UNESCO World Heritage marvel, etched into the desert by clearing dark, oxidized pebbles to expose the pale soil beneath. The spirals, ranging from a few meters to over 20 meters wide, stand out for their hypnotic grace, some solitary, others interwoven with lines or figures. The Nazca, a pre-Incan civilization, thrived in this arid crucible, mastering pottery, weaving, and the construction of puquios, underground aqueducts that still channel water today. Yet the spiral's purpose eludes us, their scale and artistry hinting at intentions beyond the everyday. What drove the people to carve such vast designs into a landscape they could barely see from the ground? Were these spirals born of necessity, reverence, or a vision we've yet to comprehend? One prevailing theory casts the spirals as elements of a sophisticated water management system, a lifeline for a civilization clinging to survival. The Nazca Desert receives less than an inch of rain annually, yet beneath its surface lie aquifers, hidden reservoirs the Nazca accessed with their puquios. Many spirals cluster near these aqueducts, or natural springs, prompting researchers like Katharina Schreiber to argue they marked water sources, or served as ritual hubs tied to fertility. Excavations near some spirals have uncovered offerings, shells, coca leaves, and maize, suggesting ceremonies to honor the water that sustained them. Geological clues bolster this view. The spirals often align with fault lines or subterranean channels, possibly acting as a topographic guide for finding water in a featureless expanse. In Andean cosmology, water was a divine force, linked to mountains and springs revered as wakas, sacred places. The spiral's flowing forms might mimic the movement of underground streams, a symbolic plea for abundance, etched into the earth. But their grandeur, visible best from hilltops or the sky, suggests a purpose that transcends mere utility. An alternative lens views the spirals as an astronomical cipher, a celestial blueprint etched in stone and soil. Maria Reich, who devoted her life to the Nazca Lines, proposed that they mirrored the heavens, spirals perhaps charting the paths of stars or planets. Some align with the solstice sun, or bright stars like Sirius, hinting at a calendar for sowing and reaping in a land where seasons hinged on subtle cues. Nazca textiles, adorned with star-like patterns, and burial sites oriented toward the sky, bolster the idea of a stargazing culture. Recent studies have added nuance. Astronomer Gerald Hawkins, using computer modeling, found that certain spirals correlate with the Pleiades cluster, a constellation tied to rain in Andean lore. Others point to Venus, a planet revered across Mesoamerica. The spiral's aerial perspective fuels speculation. Were they offerings to sky gods, visible only to divine eyes? Yet, inconsistencies challenge a purely astronomical role, as some spirals lack clear stellar ties, suggesting a more layered intent. Cutting-edge tools are shedding new light on the spiral's secrets. LiDAR scans and drone surveys have revealed previously unseen geoglyphs, including spirals tucked beneath shifting sands, expanding our map of the Nazca's work. Hydrological studies near the Puquios show that some spirals sit atop ancient wells, reinforcing their link to water. Meanwhile, isotopic analysis of nearby offerings, such as seeds and animal bones, dates them to periods of drought, hinting that the spirals were pleas for rain during desperate times. Oral traditions from modern Andean communities offer another lens. The Quechua people, descendants of the region's ancient cultures, describe spiral dances performed to summon water or honor celestial cycles. Could the Nazca have walked these geoglyphs, tracing their curves in rituals that fused earthly and cosmic needs? The spiral's durability, etched deep enough to withstand wind, but not floods, suggests a deliberate design, perhaps to endure as both tool and testament. The spirals may defy a single label, blending practicality with the profound. The Nazca lived in a world where water and stars were twin pillars of existence, both sacred, both essential. The spirals could have been multifaceted, maps to aquifers, pathways for rituals, and mirrors of the heavens. Archaeologist Helene Silverman proposes they were landscape art, unifying the Nazca's physical and spiritual realms. Their placement near mountains, seen as divine in Andean belief, ties them to a broader cosmology, where earth, water, and sky converged. Comparative studies add depth. In Chile's Atacama Desert, similar geoglyphs mark trade routes and water sources, while in North America, spiral petroglyphs denote solstices. The Nazca spirals might reflect a universal human impulse to inscribe meaning onto the land, adapted to their unique desert crucible. The Nazca spirals remain an enigma, their meaning locked in a culture that left no texts to guide us. Were they ingenious water markers, astronomical guides, or sacred symbols bridging the two? Likely, they were a fusion, a testament to a people who saw no divide between survival and the sublime. As we probe deeper with science and imagination, the spirals challenge us to rethink ancient ingenuity. Today, they stand as silent sentinels, their curves whispering across millennia. What did the Nazca see as they shaped the desert? Were they speaking to the earth, the stars, or us, distant heirs to their unsolved riddle? With each discovery, we inch closer to their truth, yet the mystery endures, spiraling ever outward. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on ancient mysteries, spirituality, and self-development.